Europe receives the highest number of international retirees. People from all over the world, and even locally from western and northern parts of the continent, dream about spending their golden years on the Mediterranean side of Europe. Due to this high demand, Europe's top retirement destinations like Mallorca, the French Rivera, the Algarve, the Greek islands, and Tuscany have gotten very expensive. Only those with a substantial net worth and income can afford to retire in these famous regions. But if you are someone who is working within a more fixed or carefully planned income structure and still want to retire in Europe, there are several affordable alternatives as well. Living expenses in these areas are less in comparison, but most of these already host sizable international retiree communities and are well developed with adequate services like healthcare and transport. All of these regions feature their own culture, weather, and terrain. In the end, choosing the right place for retirement comes to one's personal preference and taste. So with that, here are the top cheap places to retire in Europe.
Number 12. Nouvelle-Aquitaine, France.
Retirement in most of the prominent regions of France, mainly those near the coastline or close proximity to Paris, is very expensive. But in contrast to those regions, Nouvelle-Aquitaine is considerably affordable for long-term retirement. Equivalent in size to about the entire country of Austria, there's plenty of locations and lifestyles to choose from when retiring here. The region boasts 720 kilometers of Atlantic coastline, primarily with Basque towns hosting stunning beaches and temperate climate. Further inland, the landscape transforms into rolling hills, verdant forests, and majestic mountain ranges of the Pyrenees. Overall, there is a vast variety of areas to choose from, but if you're looking for city life, Bordeaux is undoubtedly the top choice. If you prefer the sea, towns near the Spanish border like Biarritz and Saint-Jean-de-Luz are ideal. While if the countryside appeals to you, there are multiple villages and towns inland where you can even buy land and start a homestead. The cost of living depends upon the lifestyle and area one chooses to reside in. For example, in a small seaside towns, a budget of $3,000 is mandatory for a retired couple, while in a city like Bordeaux, this sum can hike up to $3,600. Integrating into the local society is easy here, even if you don't speak French. Many retirees from the UK operate social groups and events on weekly basis. Number 11. Macedonia, Greece. With a population of approximately 2.4 million, Macedonia is the largest and second most populous geographic region in Greece. Its topography is well demonstrated with mountains, natural lakes, and coastal plains, along with major urban centers like Thessaloniki and Kavala. And besides these cities, there are several small coastal settlements that are worth checking out. Living expenses are low here. A couple can reside rather lavishly on a monthly budget of 2,500 euros, which roughly equates to 3,000 US dollars. Additionally, property prices are also nominal, with median price for a mid-sized house ranging between 180,000 to 270,000 US dollars. Healthcare services are also robust here. Both of its major cities and smaller towns host robust clinics and hospitals. When it comes to weather, for the most part it enjoys a Mediterranean climate, but some parts have a humid subtropical climate, while higher elevations border a humid continental climate. Getting around and socializing in its major cities and resort towns is pretty easy, as English is widely understood, but basic knowledge of Greek is a must for those opting to reside in its small towns. Number 10. Murcia, Spain. Located on the Mediterranean Sea between Valencia and Andalusia, the region of Murcia is one of the smallest in the country, with almost 1.5 million inhabitants, of which about a third live in its namesake capital. Unlike other coastal regions of Spain, living expenses in Murcia remain stagnant throughout the year. This is mainly because it is not overrun by tourists. those who visit here eventually end up living for long term. For the most part, it serves up everything people love about Spain, but without the hectic crowds, from excellent regional tapas and local wine to historical sites that span the centuries from Roman times to the Moorish period. Besides this, it is also the warmest region in Spain. Average temperatures in peak summers can easily surpass 40 degrees Celsius. However, spring and autumn are considered the best times, as the temperatures are comfortable and residents can easily bask on its Mediterranean shoreline.
It can also serve as a great base to explore the nearby regions, all thanks to its well-developed road and railway network. On the flip side, Murcia can be more placid at times, as its nightlife, international scene, and cultural buzz are more subdued. Yet this downside is precisely what many long-term residents praise. The tranquility, safety, and slower pace contribute to a more grounded, community-oriented lifestyle.
Number 9. Sicily, Italy. Sicily is the largest Mediterranean island, separated from the Italian mainland by the 3-kilometer Strait of Messina. Getting to the island is very easy. Its cities of Palermo and Catania host daily direct flights from mainland Europe. Being the largest island in the Mediterranean means there is genuine regional diversity here. From the Baroque towns of the southeast to the volcanic landscapes of Mount Etna, along with beach resorts of Taormina to the Arab Norman architecture of Palermo, it hosts heaps of attractions. At large, the region only attracts seasonal retirees, as the prospect of long-term residence still remains less appealing for foreigners. However, in the last 5 years or so, improvements have been made by the local government to enhance its infrastructure, which in turn has attracted more individuals looking to reside here permanently. The cost of living and property prices in Sicily are among the lowest in the Mediterranean Sea. The average monthly expenses barely exceed $1,500, while the median home listing price is around $75,000. For those seeking luxury, exceptional properties in southern Sicily can be acquired for approximately $300,000. Number 8. Istria, Croatia. Located in northern Croatia near the borders of Slovenia and Italy, Istria features coastal towns, rolling vineyards, ancient ruins, and rich cultural heritage. In comparison to the country's more famous region of Dalmatia, where coastal towns like Split and Dubrovnik are always packed with tourists, Istria is relatively relaxed. A select few visit here, therefore the cost of living in Istria is way cheaper than other prominent regions of the country. While Croatian and Italian influences are deeply woven into everyday life, English is widely spoken, making integration easy even in its small towns. Its coastal gems such as Pula, Rovinj, Poreč, and nearby Piran are frequently mentioned among Europe's most desirable places for tranquil retirement. While further inland, Istria features a quieter charm in its medieval hill towns and acclaimed wineries. A retired couple can typically enjoy a comfortable lifestyle in one of the peninsula's coastal towns for approximately $3,000 to $3,800 per month. And if you are not keen on renting, the property market is also active, with a solid range of affordable apartments and detached homes available. Number 7. Coastal Montenegro. Coastal Montenegro spans around 300 kilometers on the Adriatic extension of the Mediterranean Sea. The towns on this part of Europe are famous for their unique terrain and atmosphere, with Kotor Bay displaying a fjord-like appearance. The country's glamorous hotspots, particularly Budva Tivat and the postcard-perfect Bay of Kotor, can be expensive at times, but much of the coastal side remains surprisingly affordable compared to Italy or the southern France. Among the more practical and affordable choices, the city of Bar stands out. A quieter, more lived-in coastal hub with broad beaches, a functional port, and a distinctly local rhythm that appeals to long-term residents. Besides Bar, there are other settlements on this shoreline that are far more affordable to live, though collectively as a whole, the median monthly budget to reside easily here clocks under $2,000. But be aware, in peak tourist seasons, prices near the Bay of Kotor can see a rise of almost 30%. But if you rent a permanent accommodation on a yearly basis, you won't witness any effect. Number 6. Aragon, Spain. The landlocked region of Aragon is midway between Madrid and Barcelona, with a population of 1.3 million inhabitants, roughly half of them living in its capital, Zaragoza. The capital is a well-developed metro area with all the modern-day services and amenities. The median living cost in the capital can be around $2,000, but with a bit of smart budgeting, one can manage to reside under $1,800. While the rural towns such as Caspe, Teruel, or Borja are even more affordable, and one can easily retire in any of these towns for under $1,500. The main downside is that rural parts of Aragon can feel isolated, with limited English spoken and fewer international amenities. But this lack of over-tourism allows for a more immersive Spanish lifestyle. Apart from the city life, the northern Aragon region is near the French border and is home to the Aragonese Pyrenees Mountains, where you'll find a number of ski resorts and hill stations. Number 5. Centro, Portugal. Aptly known as Central Portugal, this is the second largest region of the country, stretching from the Atlantic Sea to the Spanish border. Despite its sheer size, its population is only around 2.2 million, most of which is concentrated around its cities of Aveiro, Guarda, and Coimbra. Its topography is very diverse. On its shores, you'll find golden sandy beaches dotted with picturesque fishing villages, while the interior is characterized by rolling hills, verdant forests, and majestic mountain ranges. Not many internationals retire in this region. The pace of life is very slow here, and usually language can be an issue, as not many people mainly in its rural outbacks speak English. Hence, basic understanding of Portuguese is mandatory for those seeking to retire here. The main benefits of moving here is its low cost of living. As a matter of fact, living expenses even in its major cities, and the coastal towns such as Nazaré, is far less than anywhere else in the country. Besides living expenses, price for real estate are also the lowest here. A 3-bedroom villa is usually listed for $300,000, whereas a 1-bedroom apartment is listed for just $70,000. The climate varies throughout the region. The seaside typically remains sunny and humid, while the interior parts can be colder in winters and host a couple ski resorts. In general, if you want to experience the true Portuguese culture, Centro can be the best bet, as its local markets still play a central role in daily life. Traditional festivals are celebrated with gusto, and family-run taverns serve hearty regional cuisines that has remained unchanged for generations.
Number 4. Transylvania, Romania.
People describe Transylvania as a land of myth and legend, backed by its breathtaking mountains, medieval castles, towns, and outstanding rural landscape. Even with its modern cities, Transylvania still hums with an otherworldly vibration, playfully, sometimes seriously, reinforced by a culture of folklore and superstition. Beyond the cliches, life in Transylvania is easygoing, affordable, and tranquil. Its cities are infrastructurally well developed, host daily international flights, have both public and private hospitals, and an English-speaking populace. But outside the busy centers, Transylvania truly is a different and wonderful world. Quiet, rural, slow-paced, and underdeveloped. There is a visible international presence all across the region. Typical retirees are mostly Germans drawn by the Saxon heritage and architecture, while British retirees have established companies and bought rural properties in this region. Most of its rustic villages have seen a boom in accommodation options in the last few years, and the growth is accelerating. The cost of living is affordable in terms of European standards. A couple can afford a luxurious lifestyle with first-class amenities for just under $3,200.
Number 3. Abruzzo, Italy.
Abruzzo is a region located in the center of Italy, nestled in the Apennines and the Adriatic coast, just a couple of hours away from Rome. It is the perfect destination if you are interested in finding an escape from the daily stressful routine, getting in touch with the locals, and tasting fresh, delicious produce on a daily basis. It is also a heaven for outdoor enthusiasts, as it is dubbed the greenest region in Europe, with 3 national parks and more than 35 protected reserves. In the last decade, more foreigners have been settling down in Abruzzo. The cities of L'Aquila, Teramo, Pescara, and Chieti have active English-speaking communities that are always ready to help newcomers and regularly organize get-togethers. But then again, it's evident that speaking Italian will make your life much easier. Sometimes even in the bigger cities, your chances of running into a local who will speak English with you are slim. Whether you're shopping for groceries, dealing with housing, visiting the doctor, or opening a bank account, expect all business to be conducted in Italian. For potential retirees and expats, the fact that a couple could live here for about $1,600 is the biggest selling point.
Number 2.
The Albanian Riviera. Encompassing the country's southwestern flank, from the city of Vlora in the north to the village of Ksamil, the Albanian Riviera has been proclaimed the Maldives of Europe, but without the hefty price tags. On average, a retired couple can expect to spend around $2,500 per month. Under this price tag, you can rent a 2-bedroom furnished apartment near the sea, get groceries and fresh produce, pay bills for services like internet, water, and electricity, avail private healthcare, and still have room for entertainment expenditures. Reaching to the Riviera is now easier than ever, thanks to an increasing number of direct flights from around the world to Albania's capital, Tirana. Plus, locally, there is a vast road network that connects the Riviera to the capital with just a 2-hour drive. Over the years, the international community has gotten bigger here. In the past, only Brits used to retire here, but nowadays there are even retirees from North America. But be aware, due to this high traction, it can get very crowded in peak tourist seasons, mainly from mid-July to late August. During this time, the coast is vibrant and crowded, featuring the hottest weather and elevated prices for accommodation and rentals. But those having permanent accommodations are barely affected by this price hike.
Number 1. The Bulgarian Riviera.
Bulgaria's Black Sea coast, or more commonly known as the Bulgarian Riviera, spans 230 miles of golden sands and dramatic cliffs from Romania to Turkey. Its most desirable retirement hubs include Varna and Burgas, the coast's 2 principal cities, as well as the historic towns of Nesebar, Sozopol, and Sveti Vlas. When it comes to retirement in Bulgaria, this coastal stretch is the top preferred choice. Even digital nomads have established their temporary bases here, and most visit every year during the peak summer months. The coast is also home to growing expatriate communities from the United Kingdom, Germany, the Netherlands, and Scandinavia, creating a welcoming environment. Healthcare standards continue to improve, particularly in Varna and Burgas, where modern private clinics and English-speaking medical professionals are increasingly common. A retired couple can often maintain a pleasant lifestyle here for between $2,000 to $2,800 per month. Thanks for watching. If you find this video informative, be sure to leave a like. If not, then a dislike. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing content.